Hey guys, Lee here again. In the previous videos, you heard about stats and case studies along with some general info and a genuine success story. But moving forward, we'll get down to business. Now, if you really want to nail this cold emailing thing, you have to be absolutely sure you know your target audience. What that means is that you need to recognize and understand their pain points, but also what they truly care about. You can't mix apples and oranges, so make sure you know what goes together and what's not to be combined under any circumstances. For example, a CEO of a company is very different than a VP of marketing or VP of some other department. And different people in different places are going to expect different things. So make sure your list is covered as far as the buyer or the prospect profile is concerned. And take the time to really think about who you're targeting and who's going to read the email you're about to write. The whole cold email marketing business is very peculiar, and it's actually a really distinct skill. I assure you that the line between doing it right and failing miserably is very thin. Always remember that crafting the right emails to the right people at just the right time in their self-composed buying cycle can serve as an enormous boost to any sales attempt. So, take my advice and do your best to understand the target audience, because let me tell you, there's nothing more annoying to a customer than receiving an email that they deem non-relevant. What you need to do is to try to please them by making sure the email emphasizes the value that you bring to them, not just the virtues of your own business plan, because really they don't care about that. So again, let me emphasize this. In order to craft a proper cold email, you need to know with whom you're speaking. Your chances of success go up in proportion with how much your message is tailored specifically for an individual person. Now, I do realize that you might be excited to go ahead and give this plan a go. You might even think that you can get away with simply sending a template and get your inbox to light up. But be advised, this step is as critical as any. So you'll see exactly why in later chapters. Rest assured, this step is foundational. So when the time comes to craft your message, your tone and word selection is going to vary depending on the audience you're trying to reach. For example, an email that I send to a 60-year-old cosmetic dentist is going to be different than the one that's targeting a 27-year-old plumber, even if your overall message is the same. You might already be familiar with the process of creating your ideal customer's avatar. Basically, it's the process of identifying the demographics and psychographics of the ideal person that you want to work with. Once you've identified this person down to their name, age, gender, occupation, car, house, family, even little things like shoe color, you then craft every message as if you're speaking directly to that avatar. By doing so, you attract the exact type of person you want to have as a client, and you repel the people that you don't want as a client, which is equally as important. So here's an example of an avatar. So Suzanne Hayes, somebody I made up, is a 38-year-old female. She's an attorney with a solo practice. She works out of her house, but will visit clients or have lunch meetings when necessary. She's about 5'4", 130 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, wears glasses. When she's working at home, she's relaxed in casual attire with her hair up in a ponytail. When she's in court or she's meeting with clients, she wears a dark conservative business suit with a minimum of jewelry. Suzanne's married with 2 kids. She owns a home in the suburbs and drives a black BMW 3 Series. She loves to take brisk walks regularly, takes her kids to soccer practice every other night, and runs the occasional 5K race. In the evening, she likes to relax at home with a good mystery novel and a glass of red wine. Her husband works as a supply chain manager. When she's not with her family, she likes to go to Starbucks with her girlfriends. When she goes on vacation, she prefers to go to the beach, but can also be found touring big cities. Suzanne makes about $125,000 per year in her practice. She already has some clients, could use more, but she wants to maintain a good work-life balance. She'll work after hours more often than not to get things done. She's fairly tech-savvy. She can put up a basic website, install WordPress, but she hates doing it. She's tried marketing on her own, including SEO, AdWords, and a Facebook page, but she hasn't gotten any real results. So she's frustrated about the lack of results from her advertising and marketing efforts. She's frustrated about having to work more hours that eats into her work-life balance. She's frustrated that she has to ask her husband for help with sending out direct mailers because she's too busy to do it herself. She's kept up at night wondering what might happen if more attorneys come into her territory and start picking off her clients. She worries about how sites like LegalZoom will affect her practice. She fears that she'll be left behind because other attorneys have better websites than she does. And, although she loves practicing law, she feels she has a higher calling. She dreams of being an author and publishing a book. She dreams of being asked to speak at legal conferences. She also dreams of making enough money to leave her law practice behind and spend more time with her family. So, given what we know about Suzanne, do you think you'd be able to write an effective message that she'd respond to if she were on the other end of your email? When having as detailed an avatar as this, you're actually halfway done if you just pay attention to the crucial details. Practice makes perfect, and even if you're not able to formulate an avatar like Suzanne's yourself at this exact moment, don't give up. It's going to come naturally after a few trials and errors. There are a lot of ways to figure it out. If you already have clients or buyers, you'll start by creating a composite of the perfect person who purchase your product based on what you know about your list. If not, you can research your target market on places like Facebook, LinkedIn, forums, blogs, magazine, media kits. There's just countless possibilities. Create a composite based on what you find and combine that information with those you know personally or professionally. And then all of a sudden, you have tons of them. So again, I can't stress this enough. Knowing your target is the most important step of all. Get a clear picture of who it is you're speaking to. The whole process of recognizing the target is no different than writing an amazing speech or putting together a great presentation. Everything must be fitted to the audience. If you're just indifferent and do all the cold emailing in a robotic state of mind, then you probably have sent poorly targeted emails far too often. And you know what happens to those emails. They rarely get read and even more rarely responded to. So, of course, there are times that you're just in a rush to get things over with, or maybe a bit careless due to something exciting about the opportunity, taking your mind off the bigger picture, but it doesn't really turn out all right most of the time. So, so just relax a little bit, take some time to do it right, get to know the audience, and it'll work out a lot better for you. So here's another tip. Don't be so certain that you know a target so well just by throwing out some guesses or glancing at some statistics or a few demographics. The real key is in the preparation, because the preparation is really what defines success or failure. In this case, and in many cases, in different activities. So don't cripple your chances and aim for the big goal from the beginning. So things you could do to form a more precise picture of of who you're dealing with is to check the websites or blogs of your potential targets. Use tools like Open Site Explorer to see who links to them and take a closer look at those sites. Find industry groups, conferences, magazines, but don't skip the rate cards. Have a look at the demographics, the organizers, the attendance, all those kinds of things. You can even follow them on Twitter and read their stream and use follower wonk to get a feel of their followers. Okay? Remember, the more information you can get, the more likely you are that you understand them better. Okay? So running through this complete process in the early stages makes you much more efficient later on, and you'll see that as we move through the process. So now we have this strategy that I want to share. It's called the Top 100. So the late Chet Holmes, who was one of the greatest sales experts of our era, he talked about his Dream 100 strategy. So this is when you select 100 businesses that you'd absolutely be thrilled to work with. And then when you prospect, you focus all your energy and all your resources into chasing this Dream 100 until you sign up as many of them as possible. So, all of your emails, direct mail, all your calls, all that stuff, they go to just that 100, and you're not contacting anyone outside of it. By doing so, you ensure that you're only working with those you find appealing to work with, and that there's going to be enough of them that sign up to sustain your business for a long time. And this is a great strategy to pursue for cold emailing. And we put a little twist to it. So instead of the dream 100 companies you'd like to work with, you select a top 100 list of companies in the same niche that you'd like to work with. And by doing so, you gain tremendous leverage when you work within the same niche. And it's going to save you a ton of time, increase your efficiency, and you're going to get better overall results. How's that? So imagine you have you compiled a list of 100 Suzannes. How effective do you think your campaign is going to be? Right? Do you think coming up with that avatar was a valuable exercise? So, of course, you're not limited to just the 100, and you're not even limited to just one type of business. But the idea is to tightly focus so that the group you select is as closely aligned with your avatar as possible. The bottom line is to find commonality among everyone you're going to approach. Okay? So with that in mind, we're going to go to the next couple of videos, and we're going to explain to you how gathering of prospects really works. We'll see you there.